So I want to thank our wonderful speakers for sharing their insights with us. It's been truly eye-opening and incredibly helpful. I think we all learned quite a lot. I also want to thank Dods for organizing the conference. I think you've done a great job of adapting to this weird situation that we're all in. And finally, thanks to all of you for attending. I'm sure you found it helpful, and hopefully we can and professional life. Before we go, I did want to recap some of the main points from today and give you my thoughts on the discussion. We looked at the external barriers to leadership, such as unconscious bias, lack of fair pay, lack of equal opportunities, and lack of role models. These are all issues that we need to address and tackle as an industry, but these are structural changes, and they require us challenging the gender norms, and that requires the whole industry's backing and actually society's backing for this. It's going to take time, but something we need to challenge on a daily basis. And we also looked at the internal barriers to leadership, and we talked about imposter syndrome a lot throughout the day. From a personal experience, I've experienced this and unfortunately have questioned my value. But talking about it reminds me that I'm here for a reason. For me, this stems from a lack of confidence, and that may be the case for many of you. What really helped me was actually stepping outside my comfort zone. I know this sounds terribly cliche, but saying yes to speaking opportunities, events, and reaching out to people who I could learn from. I'm an introvert, so networking and public speaking doesn't come naturally to me. And I thought I just didn't enjoy it, which is quite challenging when you work for a trade association that puts on 5 events a week. Obviously not in the current situation, but the PRC is known for putting on maybe 2 events a day, and it's a requirement for us to attend and network. That's a big part of our job requirement. But what I realize is that it's not that I don't enjoy attending events and networking, but more that I get overwhelmed and burnt out if I do it too much. As an introvert, I get my energy from spending time on my own, which allows me to recharge and have that energy to interact with people both in my personal and professional life. So setting boundaries, as we learned from Emma, is incredibly important. Otherwise, I'm not going to be my best self. And I've learned to become very selfish with my time. And I think the word selfish often gets a negative connotation, but it's your time. You should be selfish with it, and set up your day in the way that suits you rather than others. And I also think that people find networking quite daunting because, but it's a particular skill that takes time to hone, and it gets better as you become more confident throughout your career. So to summarize, my message is be kind to yourself and don't be so hard on yourself. We're all just trying to do our best in these situations, but also challenge yourself and say yes to the opportunities that scare you. And finally, just a couple of quick points before I go. An electronic feedback survey has been sent and will be in your inbox shortly, so please fill that out. And also, I wanted to remind you that the video recordings and slides will be available to you in the next few days. And if you have any issues, please get in touch with Dods, and Grace will be happy to help you. So that's it for me, and thank you, everyone. This has been an incredible day, and I'm actually in quarantine currently, so it's been a very productive use of my time to be chairing this conference. So thank you for having me.